Dave and Lucy have been in business for a long time. They have a great business and a great team. After years of hard work, they wanted to increase their property portfolio with their dream home. But being self-employed, they found their bank's lending criteria very restrictive. They saw Toowoomba's Edge Lending, the business lending experts. Edge Lending thinks outside the box and were able to secure a facility for Dave and Lucy to purchase the property. Edge Lending, making business lending easier.
Hey everyone, Scott from Edge Specialist Advice Network. Hope you're all well. Hey, today we've got another installment of What the Numbers Say, and we're using Visual Capitalist as we often do. Okay, let's start. Today we are looking at AI versus human performance in technical tasks. Guys, this is really important, so we should have a really good conversation and a think about this, because what it's really saying is what parts or what sections of the workforce is AI outperforming humans, and not just in speed, but actual in ability. So the ability of being, making sure that things are correct. Speed obviously is a big deal in AI. Also, AI doesn't go to bed, doesn't need holidays, doesn't need sick days. Something different as well. But they've broken it down into a few different categories. So I want to quickly have a look at this, and let's just see where AI is outperforming humans, but most importantly, where it isn't yet. Okay. Image classification. So we're looking at what I've got here is this 100% is the baseline of where human, I think it's the median line for human ability. Okay, and so what they've got here across the axis is in the last 12 years, and you can see where the trend of AI increasing exponentially over the last 12 years. And we know it's been pretty fast. Let's start here. Image classification. Okay, so over the 12 years, it hasn't really jumped up that much. However, it's been taking a while to train. So how has AI been trained on image classification? This for those of you who don't know, we are all training AI all the time on image classification. Every time you log in somewhere and it goes, hey, prove you aren't a robot. What do you mean? Pick 3 buildings with chimneys, or go on and highlight the bits of the grid with a bicycle. Pick all the pictures with the stop signs. Pick all the cars or the trucks. You're training AI. So if you hate AI, I'm sorry, but you've been assisting AI to outperform or remove your ability that was being required for image classification, because AI is getting better and better and better, and every day we're all training AI. That's what those things are. They were never about like, oh, hey, want to make sure you're not a hacking robot coming in and trying to get into, I don't know, your Spotify account. No, it's the deal. You've been training AI for free, which is interesting that we've all been doing this. Visual reasoning is kind of the offshoot of image classification. So I guess imagine where you would say, hey, if this picture this, then that. Okay, so it gives a bit of a reasoning. Again, AI can't think like we believe human thinking is. It's a bit different. It's a lot more if this, then that sort of stuff. Medium level reading comprehension. Okay, that's to be expected. English language understanding. Interesting. Again, not really high trajectory. Multitask language understanding. That's interesting to see. There's been a massive increase in this. And so far, image classification, visual reasoning, medium level reading comprehension, English language understanding, multitask language understanding, they are all the AI now has on basics a better ability than humans. And look at these. Look at these two. Look at all I want to see is the trajectory here, just in the last few years. Competition level mathematics. That has really been because of the increase of the speed and power of chips. So thanks NVIDIA and places like that. So that's where it's really come from. PhD level science questions. Look at this trajectory. Choo! Wow. Okay. So I don't know. Do we need PhD level professors anymore? Are they being made irrelevant by our by AI? Do we need the experts? Are we going to hand over all of this, all of our I guess decision making in society to AI? Maybe we are. I'm not sure. I hope we don't, but perhaps. Right now, this last one here, you can see has increased a trajectory a little bit. However, humans, the baseline of humans, are still better at this skill. So what is this skill? All right. It's multimodal understanding and reasoning. And multimodal understanding and reasoning and is I guess imagine if you're given a heap of different data and then you piece it all together and you create a thesis based upon effectively joining the dots. Okay, so what is this? Humans still lead in multimodal understanding and reasoning, which involves questions across disciplines that include charts, maps, tables, and images. So again, it's piecing the dots together. So where would we say that this is still not caught up with human being? Has anybody watched Criminal Minds? Things like that, where you're piecing together all this data and you're building a consensus or a thesis based around that. You would think that AI would be really across that. It's increasing. They're getting better and better and better. However, humans are still better at intuition. Now you can say, "Oh, intuition is not really a thing." Well, it is. It is really a thing. The older I get, the more I believe in intuition. And that's probably because I've been married for so long. My wife has an amazing intuition. Her intuition is ridiculously high level. The frequency she builds out. So you know what? I use her as a barometer all the time. Her intuition is really sharp. It's annoying and I hate it, but it's really good and it's got me out of a lot of trouble. Whereas her intuition's better than mine. I'll take people on face value a lot of the time. She can see through the veil. She's a bit of a shallow hell sort of a skill set, which is really incredible. Large language models and AI cannot really piece together and do reasoning. They can probably do probabilities, but they can never really go that last bit with its gut. So whether that's plugged into the frequency of the world, or that's if you believe in that, whether that's just like, hey, they just haven't got the skills to piece it all together yet, and people are still better at probabilities, because people don't realize that their whole life they're taking in data and uploading it to their cloud, which is their own brain, and it just rumbles around in there. And we've forgotten that actually you can recall that memory from 6 years from when you're age 6, but you don't really remember it. But something in there, something in you is nagging, which helps build the way that you see the world. Your epistemology, effectively, the sum total of all your experiences, and which you then use to reason and put and join dots together and build thesis on world events or lifestyle events or just your home events, right? So why am I taking the time to talk about this? This is important if you wanted to direct your kids to a career that will not be usurped by AI. The trajectory and the power of AI is only going in one direction. It's exponentially strong and powerful. What is it? What is it that it still can't do? So what areas is this going to be? Okay, so reasoning. So you would think philosophy. You would also think storytelling, story creation, interaction, empathy, emotions. All those things that actually make us human that computers cannot do. So if you're directing yourself or your kids into, I don't know, a job that requires competition level mathematics, well, you're never going to beat a computer now, are you? And so if that job or that career that used competition level mathematics then got overlaid with some sort of multimodal understanding and reasoning, and you use that to create some sort of, I don't know, some sort of thing that was a more human interacted with all of the things that make us human and intuition, then that career might hold up. At the moment, that career is not going to hold up. And it's interesting that, and I love to listen to Mr. Bill Gates, and he says, hey, you're only going to need to work 2 days a week. It's going to be amazing for your employer. Getting a 2-day-a-week wage isn't going to be awesome for you. And so you might, and this kind of goes back to Bill's thesis where he thinks that the world is like 5 times overpopulated. He thinks that we should have about 20% of the population. Really, if we don't increase the population will collapse. So don't be misled by his Microsoft mathematics. It's a lie, and he has an agenda behind it. But it's interesting that he comes out and says, "Hey, all these jobs are getting look." AI is getting so strong, we're not going to need you. It's going to be amazing. You can just live on UBI and live in your little pod. And you don't have to work 2 days a week. You'll feel so useful in society. You'll love it. You won't. You'll probably commit suicide because you're not. What's the point? Why are you here? All right. So anyway, guys, look. If we know the trend and you know where the puck is going to be, to use an ice hockey metaphor, then that's where you want to stand. And so it is these things. And as much as I used to hate English, and I used to hate anything I used to hate history at school as well, and I used to hate those touchy-feely subjects that were philosophy-based. I used to love economics and all those numbers. Now I understand that that's actually that ability to process and with reasoning and intuition is the only thing that might keep us separated from robots and AI. And they're probably areas that we should all enhance. It's really hard to enhance them when you're a heavy drinker or a heavy drug user. You kind of close down that part of your brain, or you just sit and stare at the screen and watch football. Because it's really hard to think. So be it. So be it. You can't save everyone, can we? Let's just save ourselves and our family as a starting position. So, all right, guys, look, I thought that was interesting. It's interesting to see where the trends are as usual, and that's why I want to know what the numbers say, and that's why I want you guys to know. I want to have some conversations about it and have a think about it. All right, remember, life is a family sport. Give yours an edge. See ya.
Phil owned an established business and it was really starting to grow. But he was using credit cards as an overdraft, had overdue accounts from suppliers, as well as a tax debt with the ATO. He needed to consolidate this debt and free up working capital. He saw Toowoomba's Edge Lending, who helped him replace these high-interest debts with one simple facility with lower repayments. Edge Lending Solutions, helping established businesses to grow.